This right here's a panty dropper.
Whoa,
This right here's a panty dropper.
yeah.
This right here's a baby maker. Can I sing my song?
What's going on, gents? Welcome back to the Gentleman's Corner. And today I'm pretty hyped up. I'm doing a review on a fragrance that I fell in love with. It took over the #1 seed as my #1 fragrance, beating out, of course, my baby, Paco Rabanne 1 million. And that fragrance is none other than Viktor Rolf Spicebomb. Now, I got inspired to do this review because I saw one. It's not that many out there, but shouts out to Frank Franchizzi1. Check out his channel, by the way. Great reviewer, great person. Subscribe. So yeah, I got inspired to do it because I know a lot of people have been pretty curious, but don't really, I guess, want to spend the money and haven't really saw too many reviews out there. So I decided that I'll go ahead and do a review. And yeah, let's just jump straight into it. Spicebomb is by Viktor Rolf. I don't know if I said that, but it's defined as a warm cinnamon tobacco kind of fragrance. The top notes are elemi, bergamot, grapefruit, and pink pepper. The mid notes are saffron, cinnamon, and paprika. And for the base notes, it's vetiver, tobacco, and leather. And it's been compared to 1 million. A lot of people say it's a more refined version of 1 million. I can agree with that to a certain extent. And Burberry London. Not really sure why it's compared to Burberry London. I think maybe because of the mid notes, or I guess once it hits the mid notes, it kind of smells similar. Not real sure though. For the big bottle, it's be about 95 bucks, and for the baby bottle, the smaller grenade, it's about 65 bucks. And on my fragrance reviews, my channel, I think I'm gonna go into a direction of doing what I like to call a fragrance report card. Now, when I was growing up, we had about 6 weeks before the next report card came out. So I'm going to do about 6 categories, and then I'll give a bonus, some bonus points like they do on a test or whatever, and the bonus points being a maximum of 30. So the first category, projection, I gave it a 100. Projects really well, just like 1 million. So that being said, I gave it a 100. It's not one of those fragrances where you have to be close up on the skin, or somebody has to be like in your little circle to smell you. Longevity, I gave it an 88%. On my skin, it just lasts 12 hours, probably a little bit less, a little bit longer. I think because I have really moist skin, I moisturize a lot. However, I have to take into consideration that some people say it doesn't last on their skin as long. So I can't just be biased and go based on my skin. So I gave it an 88%. The dry down, I gave it a 96%. Dry down to me, just as good as 1 million. Maybe a hint better. Just a smidgen. It's just something about that tobacco and that cinnamon that they really mesh well together, surprisingly, to me. The opening, I give a 95%. It opens really well. I'm not sure that I like it more than a 1 million opening, because I just love 1 million. But the opening with the pink pepper, like I didn't think that I would like pink pepper, but it's amazing. So I gave it a 95. The price, I also give a 95 because to me, I think I understand what they're trying to do. Niche markets kind of set the price up here, and designer markets are usually like down here somewhere, and I think they kind of want the medium between, so I think that's the direction that they were going in. They want to like set themselves apart, but also still be like a fan favorite. So I gave that a 95% because it's not bad priced, but it's definitely like not cheap like gray flannel. Blind buy. Now, this is where it took a blow. I gave it a 77% because if you're one of those frag lovers that love a ton of spice, like your Davidoff Cool Waters, your Green Iris Tweeds, your Azaro's Chrome, the really loud fragrances, and want to smell like a man's man, you might not you know, like this fragrance because it does have a softer, gentler, softer, sweeter smell. However, it still has an edge to it. It still has a spice to it. So you might want to give it a try, but I'm not necessarily saying that you'll like it. And also for those guys who not real sure about spice, who really like in the sweet smells like me, I say give it a shot. It's definitely worth a shot. You know, it's a soft spice. It's not like it's not, put it like this. It's not like taking a bottle of Tabasco and dumping it down your throat. It's not that kind of spice. It's more so like when you add the nutmeg and the cinnamon to an apple pie and you eat it and it's delicious, like that kind of spice. You know, it's soft, it's delicious. So I gave it a 77 as far as blind buy because not everybody will love it. So I'm not saying to run out and go get it. All right, for the bonus points. For the bonus points, I give it a perfect score of 30, which the two categories in the bonus points were age group, the mid-20s on up. Simply because I don't really see a high schooler wearing this, because this fragrance to me says that I'm mature, I know who I am, and I'm confident, and I'm hella sexy. Now, can a high schooler be that? Yeah, but being more realistic, in high school and like early college, you're still trying to figure out the direction of where you want to go in life. You're still trying to figure yourself out. So that's why I say mid-20s on up. So that's why I gave it 15 for that category. Now for presentation, which is the other category, I gave it another 15 points. I mean, you just can't beat this. It's Spicebomb. It looks like a freaking grenade. So that was very creative. And also right here, this little part right here, a lot of people complain about it being too cheap. I don't really care, simply because I'm not going to wear this. You know, I'm going to wear the juice that's inside of it. And also, I thought that this little part right here, it has their initials, V and R, and like the old school ink, Viktor and Rolf. It has the old school ink. I thought that was pretty creative too. And also, the sprayer on this thing is like freaking phenomenal. Let me see if you can see that. Like, it shoots out a lot of juice at one time. So it's not like, you know, kind of like the Amen sprayers where you're trying to like constantly spray a lot. So I gave that 15 points as well. So I tallied it all up, and the overall score was a 96.8. When you round it off, it's a 97, so it definitely gets an A. Now, I like to compare a lot of my fragrances to women. Now, 1 Million being my baby, that's Holly Berry to me. However, I know it's kind of tough to top Holly Berry, but with this being compared to a more refined version of 1 Million, I have to think about what's a more, I guess, refined version of Holly Berry, and I know it's kind of hard to do. The only woman that I think that I could do that with is Vanessa Williams. And I'm talking about the first, you know, black Miss America, Vanessa Williams, with the cat color changing eyes, the flawless skin, the beautiful smile, Vanessa Williams, that woman is gorgeous. So I would have to compare Spicebomb to Vanessa Williams, the first black Miss America. I think that's, if I compare that to a woman, that's who Spicebomb would represent. So being honest with my nose, first off, I get a blast of the pink pepper and maybe 25% of the grapefruit. Like, the pink pepper is not a spice to where it's like, oh my goodness, it's unbearable. It's kind of soft. And then the grapefruit provides that sweetness. Not real sure about the bergamot and the elamine. I mean, I'm sure they're there, but like the two notes that I mentioned, the pink pepper and the grapefruit, those are the ones that I get. As it hits the mid note, I really get this cinnamon. And not even like once the mid note hits, I think maybe even in the beginning I get some cinnamon too. But cinnamon is very prominent. Now, the funny thing about the mid note is the pink pepper and the paprika, they do like a tango, because the pink pepper will recede a little bit, and then the paprika come forward, then the pink pepper come forward, then the paprika recede, and it's like they go back and forth like a little tango. And that's beautiful, and it's still mixing well with the saffron and the cinnamon. So it's like kind of like your nose is playing tricks on you, but it's still beautiful. Now when it comes to the base and the dry down, the tobacco and the leather, they kind of team up and take on the cinnamon. And that, to me, is, some might even call it a game changer. It's funny because I know I love cinnamon, but I wasn't never really sure if I like tobacco or leather. But like I say, those combined elements, they work really, really well. They make the fragrance really phenomenal. Now, what I would have liked to see, not saying that it would have worked or even, you know, made the fragrance smell better, probably even would have made the fragrance stink. I would have liked to see some vanilla, you know, in the mid note to work with the cinnamon. You know, some creaminess of the vanilla. Not sure how that would have worked with the paprika and the pink pepper, but I just would have liked the fragrance to be just a little bit more creamier. I don't know if that makes sense. So who knows? I might even like mix some together with a fragrance that's heavy based in vanilla. That's definitely my take on Spicebomb. I think that if you bought it, you know, based on the information that you just heard, you'll love it. So that being said, that's my review. Leave any comments, comparison, questions, and I'll try to address them. I want to give a shout out to Phi Beta Sigma, Blue Phi, and Hooyah Navy. Peace. Talk to you later, gents.
And I hope this ain't surprising that I've been fantasizing. This ain't no joke. Let me clear my throat.